So we are back with our lovely guests, April and Jay from 5D Mystics. And this is number 3 in our manifestation series, which I am absolutely loving. And today we've got 3 really important topics to talk to you all about. We have got lofty affirmations. For those of you that don't know about these are a complete game changer. We're going to be looking at the fear of success and how that can hold us back, but most importantly, what we can do about it. And then we're going to be finishing off by talking about how each chakra system is almost like its own manifestation portal. So we've got some great stuff to add to the first 2 in the series that we've done, the links to which will be below. So you can watch them out of sequence, but I really recommend you watch the whole sequence of this show. So, April, Jay, how are you both?
We are
always good.
fantastic. It's always awesome to be in your house.
We're
Thank you so
manifesting.
much.
We're manifesting.
I know it's like it's a fun topic. Who wouldn't want to talk about how to make your manifestations come into reality? It's fun.
It's brilliant, isn't it? When we have these conversations, it's a really good starting point, April, about, you really pick where your attention goes, what you want to spend your day doing. And this to us, this is a win-win situation. It's a win for all of us. Hopefully it's a win for everyone listening to it. I know it will be. And in the first 2 episodes that we did, I love them. I've re-listened to them a couple of times, which I don't normally do with my videos, but there's so much good information. And anyone who hasn't listened to those, the links will be below. But we really go back to basics with manifestation and look at some of the misconceptions, some ways to get over some of the common hurdles. But you 2 introduced me a little while ago to the concept of lofty affirmations, and I absolutely love them. So please tell us, what are they and why they work so well for everyone?
Want to take it?
So lofty questions are a way to program your subconscious mind, because what happens is that when people attempt to manifest, which is great, and this is what we're here to do, is to really just get everybody those tools they need. But when they attempt to manifest and they don't see things working out, it's because of this. And you don't often think about it. We didn't often think about it until we started to understand the concept of lofty questions. You don't really always believe yourself. Okay, what has to happen is you have to internalize a belief system to such a core that it really becomes part of an existence. For example, if someone says, when they're manifesting, they're typically in the mode of, Catherine, like, okay, well, I want that money, or I'd like to get this, or I see this around me, all that. And it doesn't always happen for them. They get frustrated, they let it go. Now, I want to flip that for a second. When they say things like, I must be getting sick. I'm sick. I don't feel good. Guess what? They're sick. They don't feel good. They manifest that. What they're saying comes true, because the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are. So by rephrasing things with lofty questions, what it does is it literally forces you, from a scientific point of view, if you would, even though we're not scientists, but it really forces you from that standpoint of really internalizing this and make it your reality. So an example lofty question would be like
the other thing too is, and I think that this is what tripped up so many people for so long. I mean, I'm speaking from experience, and what Jay and I have done is we really have dissected the components to this manifestation process. And like health and wellness, we've tried every type of lotion, potion, and shake known to mankind and found 2 or 3 that really, really work for us. Similarly, the manifestation process is exactly the same. We've tried every lotion, potion, and shake, magic wand, to see what would help us bring our manifestations into reality. And as we were testing these various theories, we were realizing, there is something to this concept of the universe gives you who you are, not what you want. And many times our manifestations are always about what we want. We're wishing to receive whatever it is that we are desiring or want. Well, guess what? It doesn't work that way. There's no magic wand involved. The universe, just because you desperately, you could want something with every ounce of your being, it does not mean you're gonna get it. because it just doesn't work that way. Because even though you may be wishing it to death, you need to become that which you seek. So if you are wanting to improve your lifestyle, but you're still eating really junky, you could be wishing till the cows come home to become healthy, but it's never going to happen. You have to become that which you seek to be. So you have to start moving in the direction of the manifestation you want to create.
And so in our research, as we've dissected this over these years, when we look at things, we look at it very pragmatically. Okay, well, look, what's going to work? We don't want to wait forever. No, neither does anybody else.
Because we like the fast plan.
We love the fast plan. So we look at ways and things to be able to tap into that say, what are we going to say? How are we going to act? How are we going to vibrate that is going to cause a pretty measurable, specific, measurable result that we can associate to what we just did? Okay, so for example, on the lofty questions, Catherine, someone would say something like this. Instead of saying like, I would like a lot of money, they would say something like, why do I have so much money in my life? And you're asking a lofty question. Why do I have so much money? Because when you start saying things like that, why am I so healthy? Why do I never get sick when everybody else is doing this? Why do I have the best show on YouTube right now? Why is my number?
Everybody on social media love us?
Why is my Instagram growing so big? You're literally doing that, and what's going to happen?
You're putting yourself into the present.
You're putting yourself in the present. You're owning it. What's going to happen? There's going to be a switch. This happened to us. There's going to be a switch that flips in your brain. And again, I don't know what that switch is, but it does flip. I can assure you. And then all of a sudden, you've now internalized it, and all of a sudden you are very much closer and very much in alignment with your universe. Now, instead of saying, well, I wonder what the universe has in store for me, you reverse that because you have something in store for the universe because it's your universe.
And at first, lofty questions may feel awkward because you're not used to framing yourself in a way where you want to say, why does the universe always make me feel beautiful? Why does the universe always create abundance? Why does the universe always bring people around me that love me for who I am? Why does the universe give me perfect hair? And then, and you may be thinking, I don't have perfect hair, right?
I got to try that trick.
So beautiful.
I'm going to try that one.
But once you get past that, and you realize that, you know what? No, inside I am beautiful. Inside I am full of abundance. Inside I was created to live a life of abundance and prosperity. So once you get past this awkwardness of feeling like, well, these lofty questions are a little bit out of my comfort zone. Once you get past that and you actually start implementing and saying these lofty questions to yourself, you're going to
all day long. Like you don't just say it. Yeah, yes, you don't just say it once in the morning at 9 o'clock and before you go to bed, and because that's routine. That's not even like you're not really. But
you're gonna feel it, right? You're gonna feel yourself shift from this isn't so awkward anymore. That this is actually enjoyable because you're gonna see your manifestations start to come alive, move in the direction that you are wanting them to come into reality.
Like
I just want to jump in first, Jay, because it's really important what you were saying. So the why, anyone who's had little children around them, we know that young children are asking why all the time. And most people who are on this journey of self-discovery with us also know that the first 7 years of your life, you're in that theta brainwave state where everything is programmable. Everything is being programmed into your subconscious mind. So there's no accident that the lofty questions are a why that takes us back to that time in our life where we were putting everything straight into our subconscious mind, because children naturally ask a lot of why questions, and adults can get quite annoyed about it. But it's so important. There's something about this why that sort of programs it straight into our subconscious. And we all know that it's the subconscious mind that has to be changed, because that's what really is directing the results we're getting right here, right now. And if we're not happy with the results that we want right here, right now, we've got to make the change. So I love the fact that there's that link back to childhood and that it's almost like a biohack into getting into that subconscious state again.
Totally is a
I
biohack,
think
you
that
know?
is a phenomenal correlation. I didn't even think about it till you mentioned it, but
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
really genius when you think about it, because if you just model that of a child, they're so full of love, they're so full of energy, they feel they look in the mirror and they feel beautiful, and they look
Absolutely.
everything around them is just perfect, and you know, in their eyes, perfect the way that it's supposed to be. So if we can take that same thought pattern and that same analogy, that's a home
You
run.
know, every business person, every coach, consultant, direct seller, whatever their business is, when they're about to talk to a client or present to a client or something of that like, they should say, why is this person about to buy from me? Why is this? I mean, they want you every single, if you're making 10 calls a day, you should be asking yourself 10 lofty questions a day. You know, if you're in that business, right? If you're whatever you're doing, whatever you're about to confront, and you need it to go in your favor, you should ask the question beforehand. And again, what'll happen is it will flip the trigger. You will start to internalize it. You know, do you see it in, I don't know when you're going to see it in a day or 2 days, but you see it pretty damn quick. I will tell you, I would be, I'm so excited because we see this, how this plays out for us. And then you start to have fun with it. Then you start to be more creative with it. Then you go deeper with it. Then you really realize what really is possible for us, you know?
Well, see, the other thing too, when you start tricking your subconscious through the lofty questions, the universe, by the law of nature, by the laws of the universe, are naturally going to start reflecting your lofty
And
questions.
who you are.
That's how it works. Because again, the universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you who you are.
I love it. Now, before we move on to the others, so lofty questions, everyone. I just want to really, we'll all go around the table a minute and give a few more examples, but it's why does everyone have such amazing results right here, right now with this lofty questions? And it's so true. Ever since I've discovered it, it's such good fun. It reframes things, it opens up the sort of world of possibilities, changes your energy centers, which we're going to come on to really, really well. But one of the things I've noticed a lot, Jay and April, is that anyone go and look at my Instagram and scroll down a bit and see some of the controversy, because some of the things I've put is, for example, it's a lot of research that's shown that the brain doesn't know the difference. And I think when they're talking about the brain, we're really talking a lot of the subconscious and the conscious mind and the overlap between the two. Doesn't know the difference between real and imaginary, which is why some people get so scared in horror movies. Now, there are some differences, but simplifying this, but it's amazing how we see people get very attached to their limitations and their lack, whether it's lack of health, whether it's lack of wealth, whether it's lack of friends, whether it's lack of understanding. You've only got to look at most social media posts to see how easily, you know, Wayne Dyer famously said people will look for at least 100 things each day to be offended about. And I think that's at least
Right.
1,000 today now.
Yeah.
Right.
With that, in all seriousness, there's obviously a reason for this because so many people are in this reactive state. How do you think the lofty questions can really help people shift out of that state?
Well, first of all, because it's shifting your identity at a level of not only at a subconscious level, but at a level where you're reprogramming your mind. Yes, you're shifting your identity, yes, but you're also what's that word that where you're
Your brainwaves.
yeah, but that's not really where I was getting at it. But it'll come back to me. But the bottom line of it really truly is it's because got it, at a fundamental level.
Talk yourself through it. You got this.
Right. At a fundamental level, you're literally shifting your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it works.
And then you're energetically, the other thing behind it is think about the trigger. Why am I so, you've just like, I want this. I mean, think about the emotion. I mean, if you can just try it, look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know, I would like the biggest place in the world. and then look at yourself back in the mirror and say, why do I have the biggest place in the world? Watch your mannerisms, watch your physiology, watch how you physically start to change.
It's literally self-hypnosis.
Yeah, it's a transformation. It's not just an internal job here. It's a physical thing, and your body starts to react to it very differently. And again, that all of a sudden becomes you. You look in the mirror. I mean, that's the best advice. You'll see for yourself. And when you see that, then the smiles start getting on your face, then more smiles start going on your face, and the happier you are, then you vibrate better.
I also love the fact, it really does work. It works so well, everyone. I'm really excited for people that haven't already tried this to try that. But think how often, so a lot of the problems we have is that we focus on other people, not ourselves. And think how often people say in their life, why is that person so lucky? Why does that person always win? Why does that person get all the good looking girls or boys or whatever it might be? So this is what we're doing. We're almost, every time we're projecting that outside ourselves, we're almost giving all the luck and all the manifestation talking about.
Yes.
Instead, what we're talking about, know thyself, direct it back in again, be the best example, because no one's going to listen to your advice, whatever your work is, if you're not a walking, talking example of it. You're not going to go to a fat aerobics instructor. You're not going to take advice from an ill doctor. You're not going to take financial advice from someone who's broke. So there's so many self-fulfilling prophecies when people do this. And you two have got a big advantage. I love it, because you're both on this journey together. For those of you that haven't necessarily got a partner that is, don't let that hold you back. Talk to yourself, get on friends, every time you comment on a social media post, do it in that form. So everything becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't do it, it's not going to work.
Well, and for those who are running the race, if you would, by themselves, actions always speak louder than words. Just do it. And then you'll find a lot of times that the person you're with will see the shift in you, and then all of a sudden the things that maybe feel like that doesn't align them with you as much, all of a sudden does align, because they get to see a different version of you. Because remember, what attracts people, initially, is the physical embodiment. What gets people to really stay connected is the spirit. So what happens is when they're doing with the when they're starting to do the left, and you start doing the lofty questions, but you don't feel compelled to go to your mate and say, oh, I'm about to try this lofty question thing. You want to try it together? And they're not going to. So you just do it yourself. Let it play out. Just watch this and let the action speak louder than the words can ever do,
Everybody's really familiar with the law of attraction. And then they get stumped, like, why is it not working? Well, there's a law much more important, much larger than the law of attraction. That's called the law of action. If you don't use inspired action, your law of attraction manifestations are going to take a lot longer than they really need to be. You have to back up the law of attraction with the law of action. That is far more. That supersedes the law of attraction.
Love it.
But very few people ever talk about it.
It really isn't talked about nearly enough. This is going to be a very long series, folks, don't you worry. Now, the next thing, which I think links very clearly into this, is fear of success. Everyone's heard about this, the fear of success. Most people think that doesn't apply to themselves, and yet their results in life might say differently. Talk us through, in your experience for your own lives and with all the clients you've been worked with, how does this fear of success play into people's success manifesting?
So, want me to grab this one?
Yes, because you deal with people all day long.
So there's the fear of failure, which is very familiar to people, right? That's the easy one. Believe it or not, that's the easy one. The fear of failure is this. You see something and you say, oh, I'm not doing that, I'm out, and you're done. The fear of success is this. The fear of success is, okay, let me take that step. They take a step. And then now you see a minimal success or something, maybe a little light, that success requires you, or that feeling says, take another step. Then the next step goes in. It's a bigger step. Yes, it is. So you take that bigger step. And then every move is a bigger and bigger step. But what happens as we get bigger and bigger, there's more, I don't even want to call them obstacles, because it's really all it's all your embodiment is really what it is. But there's more that comes along, and then people run away. We see this often in Catherine, as you know, we see this a lot, often in direct selling kind of companies.
Yeah.
They're hot and heavy. They're like, oh yeah, I'm taking over the world and I'm doing everything. Yeah, I got this, no problem. And 72 days later, boom, out. You know what I mean? It's the fear of success. It's like, wow, am I willing to go that far? And the answer is yes, you are willing to go that far. It's just like, do you have the belief in yourself to go that far? And a lot of
I
that.
think a lot of times too, Catherine, people get the fear of, you know what, I did really good. I did really exceptional. Might even have been my best year last year. Am I going to be able to do it again?
Yeah.
And that fear kicks in.
There's that, and then there's the, like fear of success is not only it costs you in life, and I want you to think about this from two parts of it. It costs you potentially your dreams, but it also costs you practically, because here's what happens with fear of success. The good news is when people have fear of success, it means they're trying to attempt something. But here's what happens. They'll attempt to go to, let's say, these workshops of how to make $1 million and all this stuff and things like that. And they put their money into that and they do all these things. They go to this, they get excited and nothing. They do it again, they get excited and they go nothing. See, none of these workshops or anything that you're about to go training through as it relates to the success will work unless your mindset is straight. The
Yes.
mindset has to be straight first before you attend any type of trade of any sorts, because I've seen it with real estate, I've seen it with insurance, I've seen it with money lending, I've seen it with I've seen it with every single thing since we've been in business. All these people, they rush to the greatest thing in the world that's going to make them $20 million. But if your mind does not allow you to make the steps, it didn't matter. No teacher was good enough. No course was good enough. No class was good enough. You have to be at a place for you to embody and own and really be like, and it's not just like, oh, I'm chanting I'm worthy of it. So you have to own success.
No, I was just about to say that actually. There is one thing saying I am worthy. You have to
You
believe
have to own it. Yeah.
in every essence of your being that you are truly worthy of receiving whatever it is that you want. If it's $1 gazillion, if it's your dream house, your dream car, your education, if you don't feel and believe that you are worthy of it, it's not coming to you. That is the ultimate block in life.
Yeah, I see this so much with people's health. So it's very obvious that we see it, we really work with people with health and wealth in combination. And quite honestly, when you get those two right, most other things in your life are pretty jolly good. But
Right.
I see it in the health range a lot, where people might have had some long-term health challenge and they start making changes and then they withdraw back into themselves because their identity is so tied with how they describe themselves, with how other people describe themselves, with their quality of life as it is at the moment. And normally I see it happens just as they're about to make their biggest breakthrough. So someone might have had a health challenge for 10 years, and then they'll try some new approach for 3 months. And because it's not completely gone there, they'll stop. And it's almost like, or I'm giving it 3 months. And then it's like they're setting themselves up for failure, rather than imagine if we combine that with the lofty questions and that, why does everything work so magically for me? So I really do feel these go so closely together, and so much of people's identity is tied up with their wealth status and their health status. It's huge for them to break out of that chrysalis, but it's so possible, isn't it?
So possible. And the other thing too is when you, like you said, yes, this lofty questions before you do anything. So let's break this apart, everybody. Do your lofty questions. Just keep hammering it home. You'll get it. It will get it. It'll get it.
And you'll actually start enjoying it quickly.
Then your mindset will shift. then you start taking these things, these little programs, these learning centers, whatever it is that you feel, because your mindset has to shift. Your mindset has to shift before anything. Your
Yeah.
mind has to shift. You can't be scrambled and walk into something and not sure of yourself, and go there and just feel like, because what happens is this. We've all been to enough events where people show up at these success events, if you would. The biggest thing is a lot of that's just camaraderie and everybody making them feel so good about themselves, and why they aren't having the breakthrough. I mean, you're not having the breakthrough, me neither. You're not having one. It's just a bunch of people that are broke saying, helping each other, patting each other on the back, thinking to myself, well, I'm not really alone. Well, you know what? You don't want to be in that group either. You know what I'm saying? You really don't want to be in that group. Get the lofty questions straight, then start to really take a look, as your mind will start to get there, and then your fear of success will not, it just won't be there, because you are the embodiment of success. Why am I so successful? Why am I so successful at this real estate gig? Why did me getting this real estate or this money lending license just create
All
$1
in my
million
lap.
a month for me? Why is this happening? You've embodied this. So when you now have that, then you go to these trainings, you go to these these events, or you go on these programs, or whatever it is you do. You got a great chance of winning the race. You break through those barriers. You got one hell of a chance of breaking it on that way.
See, here's the whole thing, Catherine. Very few people understand this.
I know.
And that is why you have people that are holding these seminars or these events, because they have discovered the keys to the ancient wisdom techniques. And that is what we're doing. These techniques have been around since the beginning of time. Jay and I didn't just make them up, or, create them.
Why did we make up all these techniques, is what you should be saying. Why did we come up with all this? Why is this unique?
These are ancient
Yeah.
pearls of wisdom that have been around since the beginning of time, that have been suppressed. And now what we're doing is resuscitating them and bringing them back to where, in a state where you don't have to pay a gazillion dollars to understand or learn this. We're not talking in circles. We're trying to break it down to a level, like literally a third grade level, where everyone can understand them and apply these strategies. These are practical manifestation and abundance techniques. And that is really, we're trying to make it as simplistic as possible, because when things get really screwed up, when you overcomplicate it.
Well, just not even that.
Absolutely.
It's the courage. It's the courage that comes through. You go in for success. You want to look. Everybody's got desires for them, for your loved ones, for your children. You want them to go to the best schools. You want your parents to get the best health care. You want the best for you, all of you. You want all these things. You want any time, at any point in time, someone to call you and say, if I needed something, you could say, no problem, I got you. You want that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that. That takes courage to be that person. I'm telling you, it takes a hell of a lot of courage. You can't, once you own the lofty questions, again, step by step, once you own the lofty questions, you get your courage. You don't care what anybody else thinks, because in your heart, your universe, your mind, you're doing the right thing. And that's what matters.
And this is what
I just wanted to ask you too, because it's a really important point for everyone listening. Look, we've all heard it said that you can't be happy and sad. You can't be in a fear vibration and a love vibration at the same time. And we put these we say these things like throwaway comments, but it's so important to understand. So I want you two to be really honest now. Husband and wife, look, everyone, if a husband and wife can do this together, how much of the day do you two spend talking really honestly about what's wrong, about being jealous of what other people have received, about other people's lives?
None.
Here's where we got you.
I'm trying to think, when was the last time we had a conversation like that? I don't
Let me be honest.
It's not in our wheel. It's not even in our frame of reference.
The jealousy factor, we pivoted that to, holy shit, these people have done it. There's a way.
What did they do?
There's a way.
Which leads into what I was just about to say.
We
that was our philosophy, our level of thinking was, okay, it can be done. because we're seeing people do it. The question
Yeah.
is, what did they do to get there? Which really leads me back to what I was going to say, Catherine. So for people that are looking at other people and saying, why them? Why them? How come they can do it and I'm struggling and I can't? Well, here's the answer. There's only one answer. The people that you deem as successful or have made it, it's because they have tapped into this ancient knowledge, this ancient wisdom. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it.
We have internalized through our, call it our faith, Catherine, our belief system, our lifestyle. We've internalized our practical lives is that it's more practical that we are incarnations of God and goddesses in little mini forms than the weight or whatever for something. So, or some earth movement or whatever. It's more practical that we're the ones experiencing it. So we've internalized that through our lofty questions, through how we do it over the years. With that, it's really very difficult to have a sense of jealousy watching people prosper because you don't look at it that way. You're looking at,
dang,
there's the other
awesome.
part of my soul cluster.
Yeah.
They're showing us, let's go to them now. They can help us.
There's certain people that will be watching this will understand why I've asked that. And I want to say it, none of this is about shaming any of us. It's about understanding that we cannot be in those two vibrations at once. So one of the beauties I found, and I'm constantly working on this every day with myself and loving the journey, is when you find yourself in those other vibrations, just recognize it and then have a bit of a laugh and say, well, perhaps this is why I'm not getting the results I want. You cannot be asking lofty questions, be speaking to everyone in that language and be moaning and bitching at the same time. So it's a habit change for people. And when you've got a little group of friends or a nice little group of you that are working to improve each other, you can really help each other through this process, because it's one of the beauties of seeing yourself on video is we all say things, do things, have body language that we don't necessarily recognize. But you can either watch yourself back, or you can have really good friends or mentors that can help you recognize this to shift your behaviors quicker and get the results you want quicker.
You have to. And I tell you, like, look, as business people, there's things that don't always work out the way you want them to do. But again, our mindset is this: something doesn't work out, we don't think about it anymore. It didn't work out and it's done.
Yeah.
We don't sit and think about it anymore. We say, that didn't work out. Got that. Let's learn the lesson from that quickly, move, and we pivot. And we're both in that.
We release the energy of whatever it is or was quickly.
Like, very, very quickly, like within minutes. Like, okay, we're like, okay, that doesn't seem like it's working out. What do you think we could have done differently? It's very pragmatic. Boom, we get it. Okay, that's what we could have done. Let's do it over here. We move it from there. And that's it. We do not spend hours on anything like that, because it just takes you down this depth of hell that you don't belong in. You know what I mean? We don't belong in. We're not designed for that. And you got to fight like hell to stay out of it. That's real life. Lofty questions, not thinking to it, not overthinking it. You know what I mean? And really working. I love it. Place.
And it's really important for us all to recognize this. So don't beat yourself up if you're noticing that you're in that. It's fantastic. Look how much more you can achieve. The world's your oyster. Once you realize it, then you can change it. So the fear of success, it's really important people recognize it. If they realize that they are stuck in that vibration, what are some tips of what they can do about it?
Well, obviously the first one is going to be the lofty questions. Is all that should always be everybody's go-to. As funny, as quirky, as kooky as it sounds,
probably the better.
If you do it for 30 days, you'll you'll end up doing a show like this, and you'll say, I never did this. Next thing you know, you're trying to teach the world. But start with the lofty questions is the first thing. As always, check your surroundings. If you want something, you desire something, and the vibrations or the surroundings, physical often, or social media, don't match your vibration of that, make that move. Make that move now, because I will tell you this, life does teach us one thing, is that regrets can suck. You know what I mean? So you don't want to get to the point where you feel like, I regretted not doing something. I regretted not doing this. So if you're torn at it, there'll never be the right time. The right time's always you. You're the right time. You're the universe. You're everything there. So it's getting that mindset at the end of the day, whatever it takes to get that mindset to a point, but not just feeling like I'm saying positive things because that's what this book said to do. If I read this 108 times, it'll be my new existence. No, it won't. It'll just be you read it 108 times. That's all that happened. You have to, you have to internalize it. You have to embody it. So you just internalize it. And if you feel like you're not, question why you're not internalizing. Again, we're getting back to the lofty questions because we work with basics. Our whole model, even when we ask people, like people we're working with, they'll try to explain things to us. A lot of the time, a lot of the things that comes out of our mouth is, can you tell me, break it down. What's 2 + 2? Don't give us the theory of math. What is 2 + 2? We want to know, how did it get to 4? That's it, quickly. And that's what everybody else wants. So get that. Don't overanalyze. Get yourself in the right side. Diet is critical, everybody. I got to tell you something. Our what we ingest has been a game changer for us to even get to apply these things, learn these things, because we become more of a clear channel for it.
And I think also the reason why we understand it now, and it is who we have become, is because we've internally shifted everything that we put into our body.
Yeah.
So when you're eating low vibrational foods, you're gonna feel very low vibrational.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of wealthy
You
people
start
that don't
putting
feel
high
good.
vibrational supplements, high vibrational foods, high vibrational drinks into your system, you're naturally going to start raising your vibration, decalcifying your pineal gland, detoxifying your body. And, you know, it's going to raise you up the frequency level.
Why do I always make food and drink choices that a healthy person does? You know,
Right.
it's
Exactly.
so important. You know, when you're looking at making those choices, people say step into as if you've already achieved it. Well, someone who's fit, healthy, vibrant, wealthy, someone, you know, whatever that is you're looking for, what food choices would they make? What exercise choices? What time would they go to bed? You made a very good comment for me, April, you know, get off your technology a couple of hours before bed. All these things make a difference, but they get easier to make those decisions when you're in the right vibe. So
Exactly.
Being in the right vibe,
Yeah.
being in the right light, and just always remembering that, you know, look, we're in our 50s, and you know, and a lot of people in that point in their lives, there's the crossroads, right? It's proverbial crossroads. Do I continue this lifestyle that I've really kind of enjoyed? Like, I ate whatever I want, I drank what I want, I partied with my friends. Do I continue that? It does catch up with you. So, or do you just make that pivot? You know what I mean? So when you want something, take a look at where you're at. Ask yourself the reasonable question, and whatever you resolve with, the greatest gift I think you can give yourself is resolve. But if your resolve is to make a change, then make the damn change. Not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It doesn't work that way. You know, it doesn't. You just go in and you do this, and then you can really experience this as a gift, not a prison planner, or I'm coming here to because I had to pay back the things from what I did last life. Who the hell knows what I did last time? I don't know. And, you know, so I mean, I'm not going to think about that. I don't know what I did, so I'm not worried. So I got to worry about mine.
We'll have to talk about that on another show too, because I think that's a big con job.
I don't know.
I think it is. We've got to have a talk about that, because there's so many of these spiritual myths that we've been told that I just do.
That's what we should do shows on spiritual myths.
We will. We're going to do that. You're going to love that, guys. Send in your suggestions below, because I'm writing it down, because yeah, it's been a long day and I want to remember all this, but we're going to do that, April. So we need to just have a little chat, and we can continue this next time if we want. But the concept that you brought up, which I absolutely love, about how each chakra in our chakra system, our energy channel systems in the body, is almost like its own manifestation portal. Talk us through your points on that, because it's a lovely, lovely visual for people to work with.
Yeah, they really are. And when you really understand it from this philosophy or this point of view, I think between this, what we're about to talk about, the chakra system, and the lofty questions, you put these two together, this is a manifestation marriage made in heaven.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna date it forever.
Honestly. So and I'm going to call it the old way. When we used to manifest, remember, that's the I want, or we'd always say, I am. I am this, I am happy, I am abundant, I am prosperous. Well, okay, it sounds good, but I don't really feel it, right?
Mm.
Well, if you think about it, because the I am is coming from the lowest chakra, it's coming from the root chakra. So each chakra has its own, we'll call it operating system.
Yeah.
And the I am, which mostly everyone is very familiar with and relates it to manifestation, the I am is actually connected to the root chakra, which is your lowest vibrational, your lowest frequency chakra. So you could be I am yourself to death, and you're thinking to yourself, this don't work. Why aren't my manifestations coming into reality? Well, they may be, but why are they even taking so darn long? Because you're working from the lowest frequency chakra, the I am, the root chakra. So when you think about it from that point of view, and then we're going to talk about going up to the higher levels, when we start shifting what we're verbalizing, it's going to make all of the difference, because again, you're resetting. I don't want to say tricking, you're resetting your subconscious, right? At a fundamental level.
Yeah.
So the sacral, so we're going to use it this way. So the I am, that's the sacral, the root chakra. You go up to the sacral chakra. The sacral is I feel. So instead of I am, let's say, wealthy or abundant, how about let's go up a level in the chakra? I feel wealthy and abundant.
So just kind of play
And
along.
we'll go through the
Now here's a good exercise to let
7
everybody
levels.
play along with it while we're doing this. So imagine, look in the mirror, because the mirror is always you, right? So look in the mirror and say, I am wealthy. Look and see how you feel. Let's go to the next chakra, the sacral chakra, and say, I feel wealthy. Okay, let's see how you feel. Watch your physiology now. The
Making
solar
me
plexus.
smile more already. Yeah.
Oh, it gets even better.
Yeah, well, it gets even better. Watch this one play out. This is cool. Watch this. Everybody try it with us. For real.
You know, and when you think about it, you're like, dang, this makes logical sense. So the sacral chakra is I do. I do believe I deserve wealth. I do believe I deserve prosperity. Whatever it is, I do believe how about this one? I do believe I am worthy.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of just I am worthy,
I do
really?
believe.
I don't really feel really worthy. No, but I do believe I am worthy.
Watch-
It's shifting your
Watch what's
entire
happening
energy.
to your consciousness, everybody.
It's starting to shift your physiology as well. So the next one is the heart chakra, and we all know what the heart chakra is all about. Love, 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 right? I try this one on, Catherine. I love abundance and prosperity. So you have the old I am prosperous, I am abundant, and I'm feeling that great. I love prosperity and abundance. Dang, it just totally shifted everything. My whole world just changed, right? So you go up to the next one. The next one is the throat chakra, right? So that's all about speaking. I speak prosperity into my existence.
Watch how the level of confidence is rising as the shot.
I'm rising up in my chair as you're saying.
It's real.
It's like all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is. It's like a Joe Dispenza meditation when you're bringing your energy up your spinal column. Yeah.
Absolutely. I speak for those that are like, why can't my relationship, I can't find it. How about this one? I speak love into my life. Instead of I am wanting love, I speak love into my existence. So after that, you've got your third eye chakra, right? And that's I see. I see abundance. I see prosperity. I see love. And the last one is your crown chakra, and that's all about understanding, right?
I understand it now. I get it. And it's so ingrained when you go through this. So, you know, if you watch and go through these things, and you know what, and I think we could probably pull this off, but if they text me, we can see if we can get in a little outline for this for people.
Yeah.
So they can follow along with this, because this stuff is a life changer, everybody. Watch how we practice this all day long. We're like, how do you do it quicker? How do you do it quicker? How do you do it quicker?
It's like we're always trying to turn the wrench tighter.
Right.
How can we make this manifestation thing quicker, better,
building, because we are all a toroidal field. So
Yes.
you're raising it up and the belief systems, and then it's flowing through you round into the endless, correcting in with the earthing, grounding, bringing that abundance. We all know there's so much abundance there back into you, and it just, yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah,
I've
you know,
not
if you
heard it
notice when you
described.
get to the heart chakra, you'll notice that you're in the first lower chakras, you're saying it, and you notice that right around the heart chakra, you start to get to the throat, especially that third eye. You're really there with it. You're present with it. You're like, I see it. Like I
I
see
love it.
like I see it. You're like really getting it. You're not like I am wealthy. I see my wealth, and you're no longer saying it because it's supposed to be said. You're
Right.
saying it because you've just gone through the process of internalizing it, is what you're doing. And then of course that chakra is that I understand, I get it. I get what you're telling me. I get that I can get this at any
And it
time. Right?
works for every type of learning style, because some people
Everything.
are very
Yeah.
visual, some people need to talk it into existence, so however your learning style is, this will really work for you. It's absolutely brilliant. I've not heard it explained like that, and it just makes so much sense. Now, we have got a fantastic manifestation experience that the three of us are working on. Tell the bits that we can give away at the moment about what's coming with that and how people can connect in to get on the waiting list.
Well, so if everybody watching this, you love this, you're really gonna just like totally blow your mind about what we're doing. But April, Catherine, and myself, we are putting together for our soul sisters and brothers, we're putting together an experience called Manifest It. And that is going to be not only about your financial abundance, how you live life, your health and wellness. I mean, all aspects of your life, we're going to be covering mind, body, spirit, and prosperity. How to be able to tap that source, how to feel like you are, really co-creation, how to live so healthy, how to take a look at the foods you ingest and realize that, you know what, they really are pretty damn good. This really does feel good. I feel good and they taste good. How to attract that abundance, how to know when you have this relationship. So we're going to put together in the simplistic style that you're watching now. We're going to put together, the three of us, an experience for you to really learn practical techniques that you can apply every day over the shortest period of time, because that's how we operate. So over the shortest period of time. So we are putting this together because this is going to be our service to
you know how
you guys
we
too.
started putting this together? Because people were sending us questions, and you get them all day long, Catherine. People say, how do I fix this? What do I do about that? And you can only write so many people back. So we have designed this course for all of you because you have really asked for it.
Right.
So what we're asking in return is to now, and we'll talk about where to send them, start sending us all of your questions now.
Yeah.
And we will answer all of them within the Manifest It Academy.
This is your experience. This is your party, everybody. It's going to be an amazing ride. Listen, it's going to be a lot of fun here. So my number will be displayed there. So a couple of things we'll do is when you text the number, just say, manifest it, and we'll know who you are. Manifest it, right? Send us your email so we can get you on the list for this. Okay. In that, we're going to get you a copy of what we just went through this. So the 7 chakra system. So we'll be able to email you a copy of that, and also a quick example of some lofty questions so you can start applying that in your everyday right now and see those changes. Okay. And then just keep on the list and make sure you get it. Confirm when you receive our email so we know you're receiving everything, and then you'll get notifications for when we get to this. So I would say that sometime in March you're going to be seeing this. So the exact date is coming. We are literally manifesting this together to give you all the best experience we can. But yeah, that's what that. Hope I explained that okay.
Yeah, it's honestly, you are going to love this, everyone watching it. We've get so many questions on this, and there's so many common themes, but you're going to get the opportunity to put your questions, and the ones that resonate with the most people we're going to start with. And this isn't just theory. A lot of us, we've done the studying, we've done the things. This is really about how do you actually do it? How do you embody it? How do you do it? How do you make that shift now in whatever area of your life you need to? Health, abundance, relationships, being the best version of yourself. You can see how much energy we've got when we're talking about this, because we know this works. You know, we've been going through all the various different things for years, and I'm sure we will continue to do so. And what we love doing is sharing what we know works in the easiest way so that people can actually start getting results right here, right now. So we're really, really happy to be working on this. And I know that you're going to find it beautiful. So all the details will be in the contact box below. It's going to be send a text or a WhatsApp message. All right with WhatsApp as well, Jay?
Yeah,
Oh,
totally
of
fine.
course.
Yes,
Those
yes.
that are away. So a text or a WhatsApp message. I'm going to put the details of what you need to send. Get your registration in there. You're not committing yourself to anything, but you're going to get these amazing resources to get yourself started, and you'll be the first ones on the waiting list because it will be limited availability initially. So this is the type of things that change lives. Any final words for you, April?
I'm just so excited that we're able to bring this to your audience. And, you know, if we can, the greatest satisfaction for Jay and I is to have people feel like, you know what, there is something to this manifestation. I was never really able to understand it or have it work for me before, but I'm understanding that, you know what, it's just a shift in my mindset. It's a shift in the way I think. It's a shift in the way I feel. It's a shift in the way that I speak. And if we can help other people get through what, you know, the trenches, the manifestation trenches, and see the light at the end of the tunnel, that is just the best thing that could happen.
It's the best thing. I would say, first of all, you know, it's a privilege to get to even talk to all of you people like this. So thank you very much for receiving this message. You know, I'd say to you, get ready to no longer be the student that just takes it in. Get ready to be the leader that takes action and the new way shower that we're all been looking for.
Love it. I hope everyone's enjoyed this as much as we have. Give us comments below. Let us know what you want to hear more of. We're happy to do this. We love doing this. We love sharing what's working for you. Connect in with Jay on the number that we're going to give below because you don't want to miss out on this. And we will be back very soon. Thank you so much, April. Thank you so much, Jay. And especially a huge thank you to everyone that is on this wonderful, wonderful journey with us. Take care.
Much love.